from them.
She's saying her daughter's transgender at the age of 5.
From other people too, and it's amazing.
Listen to this.
Children are so resilient, and we don't give them enough credit, because my 3-year-old and my 7-year-old took it far better than most of the adults.
I was going to say, you won't get any problem from her classmates. All the problems will come from their parents.
Exactly, and we had to move her schools because when we put her in September initially,
she's 5. 5
because the school has known her as a boy in nursery.
5. She's transgender.
They
5.
Wouldn't accept it. The parents wouldn't allow my child to go to the parties.
She's 5.
The school wouldn't refer to her as a gender. They referred to her as a non-gender. They said they would be gender neutral. I'm quite emotional about it.
No kidding.
Mum said she's transgender.
They would be gender neutral. They wouldn't give her any gender. And they said that it might have been something that we would do because her head was down low and she wasn't socialising normally. And
of course she wasn't. She was living in confusion and fear.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
And there are people like these MPs and these journalists who want children to continue living in confusion and fear, whether they're transgender or not. And I do not understand why. Why?
It was terrible for her because she didn't fit anywhere. She wasn't boy, she wasn't girl, she was nothing, and she wasn't acknowledged as anything.
Can I ask you a question that everybody listening, well, most nice people listening will want to ask?
Yeah.
And that is how do you know that she's transgender? Because I've got a 6-year-old who some mornings wakes up and thinks she's a polar bear.
The moment that I knew that Ashley needed to make the transition was when she said, "I wish I'd have died in your tummy instead of being born." And that was when she was 4.
Unbelievable.
And I said, "Ashley, what?" I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used her name.
Why not?
Said,
I don't mind.
Because the new school that she's at, nobody knows that she's transgender. They just take her as Ashley, their friend, the little girl.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I don't want to out her. It's her.
No, I understand. Of course, I understand. Well, they'll all be in class at the moment, don't worry.
But the moment she said that, and I said, "What can I do? What can we do to make you feel happy?" And she said, I'm a girl. I'm a girl, Mummy. And I said, okay, well, so we took her on holiday and we just let her do her own, we had a trial. We trialled it on a holiday and she came back and never ever wanted to go back in boys' clothes and never ever wanted to be called he again. And I thought, what right have I got to tell her what gender she is? She can tell me what gender she is, and if she ever changes her mind, then that's absolutely fine too. People just should be free to feel okay to be what they are. It
would be a strange place to end up in if you weren't under untold psychological pressure. It doesn't sound like a whim or my 6-year-old's belief for several mornings recently that she's a polar bear. I mean, these are deep weights on a child's mind, and it sounds like you found a way of freeing your little girl from the tyranny of those weights.
Well, she was so unhappy before.
How has she changed? How has she changed, Katie?
Completely changed.
Tell me.
She's gone from shouting all the time and aggressive and angry and miserable all the time to happy and free and carefree like a child. She never used to be like a child. She was always so hung up, and now she's free. She skips and she's childlike, and it's wonderful. And her brothers have accepted her completely, and they know that
there's 7.
That there are all sorts of different types of people in this world, and it's about what you put into the world as a good person, but not about gender or sexuality or anything else.
You've probably given this more thought than I have. What do people get so freaked out about? What do adults get so freaked out?
They don't understand it. They just don't know how.
I don't understand hard algebra, but I don't get all hateful and horrible about it.
But it's scary when you don't know, when something's completely alien to you. And unfortunately, transgender issues are issues that are aren't focused on hardly at all. And so
5 years old.
It's ignorance top down, and if the parents are scared by it, then they make the children scared of it, and so then you get a society that don't accept anybody. Well, particularly, I've found transgender.
So it would be a bit like growing up gay 30 or 40 years ago, and people just being freaked out and terrified by it because, I don't know, they're terrified of anything different, anything that's not like them, or they're terrified that they're a bit confused and they don't know how to... Can I read you some tweets? Would you mind?
Sure.
This is from Arwen. Please tell this lady that she's amazing. This is from Chris. James, this is such heartwarming stuff. What a marvellous mother this lady is. And this is from Sir Herbert Cheese, which I don't believe is his real name, Katie. But he writes, wow, this lady, brave, and more power to her and her daughter. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, hang on, there's one more. Bloody amazing radio, this call from the woman with the transgender girl. It's heartbreaking. But you know, and I know, Katie, that some people will be ringing in or texting or tweeting to, let me see, just check the inbox of people who I've blocked from my own personal account, but who still get through to the LBC. Here's one. Yeah, how can a 5-year-old be transgender? And nothing you've said will have broken through that armour of ignorance, will it? Because these people don't want to be enlightened.
I'd say to them,
enlightened.
If you had a choice of saving your child or not, or letting them feel suicidal, what would you choose?
5.
I'd rather have
Suicidal.
an alive daughter than a dead son.
5 years old.
Katie, you take care, all right? And pass my love on. It's and we're here whenever you need us. If you want to have conversations or enlighten other people, or even if you need a little bit of help with authorities or anything like that at some point in the future, just keep me in your contacts book. Stephen Pollard is here, the editor of the Jewish Chronicle. Shall I talk to Stephen now, or just talk to... He's a very busy man. I used to work with Stephen. I don't want to keep him on hold. All right, we'll come to Stephen Pollard after the travel news for a frankly breathtaking insight into how, if you will, prescient we were last week when we suggested that a lot of people